Hi everyone, Robbie here, and today we are going to talk about this, the Leica M11. Now before we begin, I would really appreciate it if you gave me a subscribe if you found the video helpful, and comment down below about why you hate Leica shooters like in every other Leica video out there. So I've had this camera for about 4 months now, and prior to this I had the Leica Q3. Now, like everyone says, the Leica Q3 is a gateway drug to the Leica system. That camera was fantastic if you needed a high-end camera to take pictures of your daily life, your family, your travels, but at the end of the day that camera is still a point and shoot. And I wanted the full Leica experience. I'm not going to do a full review about this camera. There are already loads of videos out there that you can watch, but I am going to talk about what I like and what I dislike about shooting this camera for the past 4 months. The troubling thing about this camera is that it crashes sometimes, and I had to remove the battery and reinstall it to get it going. Yeah, sure, Leica updates its firmware sometimes, but then that is another matter. So a few days ago, Leica decided to release a new firmware update for the Leica M11, which is the Leica M11 2.1.1, if I'm not mistaken. Updating it was a terrifying experience. I've heard horror stories of people on the internet bricking their cameras and needing to send their cameras to Leica to get it repaired. Fortunately for me, apart from the intensely long restart time at the end of the update, everything went well. I updated it through the Leica Photos app, so yeah, it might be a different experience for you. With regards to build quality and design, this camera is impeccable. You really need to pick up this camera for about 5 seconds, put it down, pick up any Sony, Nikon, Canon or Fuji, and you instantly feel that those cameras are very, very cheaply put together. Yeah, there's a massive difference there, trust me. The one thing that really annoyed me about the build quality of this camera is that it comes in different materials depending on which color you're getting. My silver one comes in brass. The black one, which I prefer, to be honest, comes in aluminium. But when I picked up the black M11, the camera felt a bit cheaper than the silver version. When I'm spending this kind of money on the camera, I wouldn't really want it to feel cheaper, if you will. So yeah, there you go. Do I wish it came with a brass black paint version like my Leica MP? Yeah, absolutely. So Leica, please come up with one. Now, fortunately, I don't mind how a black lens looks on a silver camera. The battery life on these cameras are just amazing. One single battery can last you an entire day of shooting, though I do have a spare battery that I carry around with me just in case. Right next to the battery is a USB port. I really don't understand why Leica put the USB port there. Yeah, sure, it's nice to have USB-C charging on the camera. It's positioned there, so you can't really plug in a charger and place the camera on a good position. Now, the biggest thing about this camera is the internal memory. I have 64 gigabytes of internal memory on my M11. The M11P comes with 256 gigs, if I'm not mistaken. I think internal memory has to come with any new camera in the future. This thing has saved me twice now. So I was transferring the data from my memory card into my computer and I forgot to reinsert it. So I went out on a shoot not realizing I didn't bring my memory card. So I had 64 gigs. 64 gigs is not a lot, but then that allowed me time to get my memory card shipped to my shooting location while I continued with the shoot. It saved me a lot of time, and it will potentially save an entire shoot by itself. Next up then, let's talk about image quality. When I first shot with the camera, I was quite disappointed when I saw the pictures on the screen. The pictures looked very cold, it had a weird magenta cast to it, but then I decided to edit it on my computer. The pictures, when edited, are fantastic. respond really well to editing, and they really just come alive. As you can see, the raw files are flexible and you can do literally anything you want to them. So this camera comes with 60 megapixels, and if you're like me and you don't compose your pictures perfectly every time you take a photograph, 60 megapixels allows you to crop in really tight and still have a usable photograph. Now, I shoot with 36 megapixels, so I don't have that much leeway into cropping, but then yeah, it's an amazing thing to have. Speaking of 36 megapixels, the camera comes with something called a triple resolution sensor, so you can shoot in 60 megapixels, 36 and 80. How it works is that the camera does something called pixel binning. What it is the camera takes multiple pixels and combines them into one larger pixel, which in theory gives you better dynamic range. But then, is there a huge difference? Not really. I can't really see the difference, but then it's nice to have smaller files without cropping into the sensor. Finally, I want to reply to a comment that was made in a previous video. The comment asked me about why I was drawn to the Leica system. Now, I enjoy the process of taking photographs as much as the pictures themselves. So I wanted a system that will take photography from what essentially is a computer, the Sony a7R5, back into my hands. So I had the full photography experience. Now, can I do the same thing using the a7R5 and switch off every single automatic feature there is? Yeah, sure. But then a Leica is a lot more than that. It's like buying a Rolex when a G-Shock will tell you the time more accurately. Make no mistake, Leica is a luxury brand these days. Does it make sense to own one? No, it doesn't. Is it worth the money? The fact that it's a luxury brand makes that discussion irrelevant. So there you have it. The Leica M11 is really making me consider selling my a7R5. See you in the next one. Bye.